Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city and our state and our country, where I clear my throat, where we take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions on how to have an awesome life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. Today is Saturday, December 18th. And as always, it is a pleasure to spend a few minutes with you learning about what your interests are, what you're up to, and trying to build a sense of community. It is so nice to see you, and it is so nice to see you every single time. Every single broadcast is different, and every single broadcast is special. Last night, we had a great time talking to Amy and Fernando of Duo Dorado. We'll talk a little bit about that. We have news to share with you. It was eerie that during the live interview there was this loud explosion, and it turned out to be a terrible accident in Conchas Chinas. We'll have something to say about that. We thought that we were done with the Malecon business, but it keeps getting freakier and freakier. It is irresistible to avoid it. And I have more interesting news about that. I have another list of best of television shows and some related things and some unrelated things to share with you this morning. But as always, first and foremost, we'd like to, first of all, encourage everybody that is new to the broadcast, watching us live, to let us know that you are new by writing the word new in your comments. That way we can give you a proper hello. And to our friends on YouTube, we're sorry we don't broadcast live to YouTube. Maybe someday we will, but in the meantime, we appreciate that you keep track of what we do, and we appreciate it when you hit the thumbs up button as you're watching. It helps our broadcast a great deal. Last but not least, if you have something truly important. Oh, do I see a birthday? That is truly important. Mary, happy birthday. What do we have? We have applause. That's a lot of years. I hope your life is wonderful. I hope your life is precious. Everybody say happy birthday to Mary, please, so that she feels the love of the community. And as I was saying, if you have something truly important to say, including birthdays, of course, it helps a great deal if you add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment, because that way we know that that it is directed to yours truly, and we can give you a proper comment. And I love Gina's response. Happy birthday. Yeah, I like that. I love it. Anyhow, I think we're ready to go. Let us get this show on the road with our news for the day. Well, as I said just a moment ago, we were in the middle of an awesome interview last night with Amy Armstrong and Fernando Gonzalez of Duo Dorado to discuss their December 30th concert. that I'll be the MC for, and I'm very excited. When all of a sudden we heard this loud explosion, I thought, well, maybe it's a transformer. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. But it turned out to be a very unfortunate accident in Conchas Chinas, where a gas tank with a leak exploded in a private residence, injuring 4 people and causing damages to several vehicles and at least 2 other nearby homes. It is believed that the explosion took place when the residents arrived at the home and flicked a light switch. The authorities have cordoned off the property in order to find out exactly what happened. And I certainly hope that they're able to figure out exactly what happened. The next set of news also happened to me. Let me set this up because it has a little bit of a story. 2 days ago, while I was running errands in El Centro, I decided to stay away from the Malecon, as I had enough about the whole Christmas village. I think we've vilified it enough. We commented on it enough, and we know that it's going to have negative repercussions for our sweet mayor for some time. But I was standing at the main plaza, and I couldn't resist the curiosity of walking around the building to see what the cable car ended up looking like. So I walked around the City Hall building only to realize that the carousel I had seen installed 2 days prior had been disassembled. And there was no trace of it, and there was no trace of the cable car. And I thought, well, that's bizarre. They have not even inaugurated the darn thing. But I gave the whole situation no further thought. Then yesterday, I stumbled upon this headline. Apparently, folks in La Lija, or living near La Lija, which is where we go get our vaccine, such a touristy place, they sent reports of large trucks moving stuff into the La Lija complex and damaging plants and structures along the way. They are getting a Christmas fair, they were told. And then came this headline. The carousel and cable car and baby train that had already been installed on the Malecon, yes, that carousel that you see in this lovely little photograph, they were disassembled and transported to La Lija Sports Complex to be closer to the people, said the person currently in charge of the Department of Culture. And this happened hours before the Malecon inauguration. So rather clearly, the very expensive Christmas fair that our mayor put together without approval of the city council, arguing that it was going to be good for tourism, was unlawful because their original intention was to allow vendors. It was unlawful because such installations on the Malecon are not allowed by law. It was unfair because the original intentions of it was to allow vendors to set up shop in the little casita shacks, putting established businesses at a disadvantage. So it was now relocated to a section of the city where there is absolutely no tourism whatsoever. So much, and tourism was the excuse with which the mayor decided that he would invest 8 million pesos, to bring more tourism to the city. So much for spending that kind of money in something for tourists and families to enjoy. Yes, it will benefit the families that live in La Lija and that whole neighborhood, but it's money that was spent. It's also unfortunate, and I hope this is the last we talk about this, because it's leaving such a bad taste in the mouths of many. And speaking of bad taste, we have another one about Conchas Chinas. Apparently, some residents are disenchanted with the fact that the Conchas Chinas Neighborhood Association charges some rather hefty maintenance fees to those that live there that are supposedly destined for public works. But here's the catch. The city is in charge of public works. So what is the neighborhood association using the money for? According to this news note, many foreigners have purchased residences in Conchas Chinas and have agreed to pay for these maintenance fees because they haven't bothered to get more involved in what the city does or doesn't do. But apparently this is changing. I took a quick peek at the Homeowners Association website just a few minutes ago, and indeed they have an outlined list of what the city does or is supposed to do and what the HOA does or is supposed to do. But curiously enough, some of the items listed under what the HOA is supposed to do, the city does as well, by law. So I say if you live in Conchas Chinas, get involved because your HOA could be accused of fraud, and that would certainly not be pretty. Folks are grumbling online due to the seemingly abusive increases of up to 80% on Uber, Didi, and Cabify rides in Guadalajara's metropolitan area due to the holiday season. Here in Puerto Vallarta, we only have to worry about Uber at least until Didi begins offering taxi service. So far, they only offer food delivery service. But in the meantime, do not be surprised if your transportation prices increase while using the platform. And now let us see what's going on with the weather for this beautiful weekend so that we can continue with a couple of leisurely headlines. Well, this one certainly applies to me. It's nice out, sure, but how are you supposed to watch all the cat videos on the internet if you're getting distracted by pleasant weather? Well, forget about the cats on the internet. Luna has made it abundantly clear this morning that she expects me to spend all the weekend, or what's rest of the weekend, in bed cuddling. I don't know that that's going to happen, but it sounds very alluring given the cold weather. I was going to say chilly, but it's not quite chilly. It's cool outside. It is 25 degrees right now. It feels like 27. Humidity is high for this time of year, 74%. And our temperature for our friends in the United States in Fahrenheit degrees is 76. Our weather forecast for today says humid and partly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 28, low temperature of 18. Tomorrow, Sunday, we can expect a humid day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 18. And Monday, we'll start our week with clear skies throughout the day, high temperature of 29, low temperature of 17. It's feeling cold, it's feeling wintry, and if you ask me, it's feeling wonderful. The perfect weather to be crocheting at home while watching television. Let's see. Oh, I had to laugh at this one. According to this news note and according to Booking.com, Puerto Vallarta is the second most searched for vacation destination in Mexico for December vacations, with Acapulco being in the first place. Now, this in itself is not funny at all, but when you consider that this was published yesterday, one really does have to wonder who on earth would be searching for our city for Christmas vacations 6 days before Christmas Eve. Good luck finding a decent room or one at a decent price at this stage of the game. If you live in Marina Vallarta or nearby, apparently there is a photo exhibition installed along the Marina Vallarta Malecon titled Magical Visions of Puerto Vallarta. Somehow, I suspect that No Peyote is involved in these magical visions, but if you're out and about and enjoying a stroll along the Marina Vallarta Malecon, be sure to check the images out. The exhibition will be on display until December 31st, after which it will be relocated to Puerto Mágico from January 1st to the 15th, and subsequently to the city Malecon from January 16th to 31st. I'm reading your comments about last night's interview with Amy and Fernando, which was wonderful. I'll get to your comments in a second. But in the meantime, if you'd like a taste of Amy Armstrong and Fernando Gonzalez, they are performing this evening at Nacho Daddy at 8 p.m., which also reminds me that they will be, or probably already are, at the Farmers Market in Lázaro Cárdenas Park this morning, and they have tickets available for sale for the December 30th concert. Oh, this has nothing to do with anything, but I had to share. I just had to share. The moment you realize that 2022 is pronounced 2022, I thought it was funny. Let's hope that 2022 is not like 2022. Anyhow, I have another list of another best of list. This one from Huffington Post, showcasing the best TV shows of 2021, in case you have a New Year's resolution to binge on something new and exciting. And totally unrelated, but equally exciting, at least to me, I thought is this imminent launch of NASA's new James Webb Telescope, space telescope, to take place this coming December 24th. I don't know if you've heard about this, and I know it's very geeky, but last night I found myself watching all these YouTube videos talking about the project, which has been decades in the making, and its impact on space research. It's pretty wild stuff, if you ask me. So, if there's a geeky cell in your body, please be mindful of this space launch, and we will all be looking forward to what kind of images this instrument brings back to us in the future. And this brings us to our comment section. Let us see what you have and see what you guys are up to. Let's start with your good mornings, which are always beautiful and wonderful. Um, Thank you very much, Karen. I was great to see you. It was great to see folks last night watching, and I really, really appreciate the support. Um, I very rarely get on board or behind um, other people's productions and events, but I do happen to know Amy and Fernando, and I happen to know how much they have soared through the whole pandemic procedure. And I'm mindful of what a challenge it is to put together a performance at Teatro Vallarta. And I am always wowed by their musicianship. So it's a pleasure to get behind this project. And it's so nice to see that you guys are excited as well. Um, let's see what else. Oh, thank you for that, Kathleen. And the montage, I have to say, the montage didn't look very good during the interview. It's part of learning the limitations of the streaming software, and there were all these transitions and beautiful fades that were done in time with the music. So I have uploaded the montage separately, and it is available on the Coffee and Headlines Facebook page, but I'll be happy to include it in today's show notes so that you can find it easily. Um, let's see what else. Logan is coming back tomorrow, and that makes my world better. That's all I'm going to say. Um, Troy says he has the VIP party tickets for one night only. That's great. Thank you for the support. It's absolutely wonderful. Lots of happy birthdays for Mary. I love it. You guys are such great troopers. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Uh-oh. In the middle of a nightmarish move to Versailles, yay, stress is my middle name. Well, Marie, I hope your move is done quickly and safely and beautifully so that you can actually relax and enjoy the rest of the holiday season living in Versailles, which is a wonderful neighborhood. I don't need to say this because we say it all the time. You will love it here. Let's see what else. Chum bim bam bam. I am sending someone up at noon to board up windows of the house behind the explosion. If anyone needs assistance, please let me know. Thank you very much for sharing that, Ryan. I hope it goes well for all the people affected. Um, Tony comments, wonderful interview with Amy and Fernando. Hope to hear them in a lounge setting with a glass of wine. Very charismatic. Again, Tony, if you're out and about, you can have your wish come true tonight at Nacho Daddy, and there you have it. Uh, oh, this is very funny. This is very funny. People don't come to Vallarta to ride a carousel. I imagine FFS means for fuck's sake. And Marie, you are, don't even get me started. Don't get me started. Let me, hold on, just, where's my mute button? Okay, that was funny. I had to cough because you made me laugh. Thank you so much for the interview with Amy and Fernando. We both appreciate the time and energy it took for you to do and to put together the very cool pictures and music collage. You know what it is, Den? I have to, okay, I'm going to confess something. I am on a crusade. Not a crusade. No, I'm not on a crusade, but I this concert is such a great opportunity for me to put a small grain of salt in promoting something wonderful. So if I find out that at least 2, 5, 10, maybe 15, 20 people that regularly tune in to Coffee and Headlines purchase tickets, or some of the people that watch the interviews purchase tickets for the concert, then we must be doing something good. And that would be a wonderful holiday present for me to know that we are creating important connections with those that enjoy live music. Um, Heather comments, happy to know the youngsters in PTL will get to enjoy the merry-go-round. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That part of the deal is absolutely great because people living over there will surely enjoy the installations. Uh, but I am sure even people like that, if you give them a choice, do you want a merry-go-round or do you want some money? Um, but again, the deed is done. What can we do and what can we say? Let's see. Tune, 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 tune. Tony thinks the Three Stooges could do a better job running this city and this administration. You know, it is thought provoking. I am not even going to agree or disagree with you, Tony, because I am sure the new administration must be doing some things good, but some of the things that are being strange decisions are leaving a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, both people that are involved in politics and the general public, like you and I. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's see what else. Uh, 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 uh. I am so nerd go out in the James Webb Space Telescope. Did you know it will not orbit the Earth, but instead it will orbit the Sun? Yes, I was watching. It's going to be like out there in the middle of nowhere. It is fascinating. Let's see, Paco, your interviews are great. Your infectious personality really comes out and increases the enjoyment. I have to watch myself, Albert, because I have to remind myself that the interviews are not about me. And I know myself. I know that I get goofy and gimmicky and stuff like that. But I'm constantly saying to myself, Paco, this is not about you and it's not for you. It's about the interviewees. So it is a challenge. It is a challenge not to be too goofy. But I am very grateful for your comments. Thank you very much. Um, Tony says, sorry, good morning, Paco. Nothing to be sorry about, Tony. It's a good morning indeed. Let's see, what else? We enjoyed your interview. The moment of the explosion caught Fernando's expression. I knew it was not fireworks. I even jokingly said somebody must have farted. But, it's sad. It's sad what happened. And I hope it's just a gas tank because the rumor mill is moving this morning, and it's a good thing that we don't talk about rumors or we don't publicize fake news because the rumor mill about that house in Conchas Chinas is moving about. That's all I'm going to say. And we've reached the end of our comments, and I am wondering how everybody is going to celebrate Christmas and New Year's. I'm wondering what you're going to be up to. So feel free to share some of your joy by letting us know where you are and what you are planning to do for Christmas and for New Year's. I can tell you my plan. Christmas Eve is a Friday, and so is New Year's Eve. and we don't usually do the broadcast on Sundays, so part of me is really, really tempted to pre-record Christmas Eve and pre-record Christmas Day so that yours truly can have 2 days off in 2 weekends in a row. I don't think that's what I'll do. You know why? Because I go through withdrawal. I do miss you. I do miss you guys when we're not doing when I decide to take a day off, and you know, I find myself thinking, what will the cluster do, and what is the cluster up to? So I will try to stay very chill on Christmas Eve. I will stay home and not do much of anything. I think I have an invitation for December 25th that I will accept. And then, my big Christmas holiday is December 27th because that's the date in which I arrived in Puerto Vallarta. And I am going to be a mess, a good mess, because this year I'm celebrating 20 years of having made a radical life change to get here. Who would have thought that 20 years after the fact we would be here hanging out discussing our Christmas plans together? And then New Year's Eve, what was it, last year and the year before? I think I was in bed by 10. I really, really don't think um, I get so gratified by doing something special for myself on the 27th that the passing of the year becomes largely irrelevant to me. So let's see what some of you guys are up to. Oh, and you know what? I will put this out there right now. Chris, on New Year's Day, we will definitely pre-record. New Year's Day will be pre-recorded. It's going to be a New Year's resolution special. And you know what it is going to be about? It's going to be about all those wonderful nuggets you've been sharing here during Coffee and Headlines about things that anybody that considers themselves an English speaking local should do. So I've taken well, not advantage, but I have accumulated all those wonderful words of advice you've shared with me, and we're going to do a special program with all kinds of ideas of things that we can be doing because, and I mean we, because there are some things on the list that I haven't done, and I'm an English speaking local. So that's what we're going to do on New Year's Day. New Year's Day, I will definitely take the day off, and I will have a 2 day weekend, and I will probably just sit in bed, lie in bed rather, hanging out with Luna. But enough about me. Let's see what's going on. Gina, it has been very excited about Whiskey Kitchen cooking. I know that Whiskey Kitchen has been promoting Christmas dinners. If I was in the mood to be out and about, I would probably want to have dinner at Whiskey Kitchen, because I love their food, and that shouldn't be news to you guys. Let's see. Troy is cooking a Christmas lunch for condo employees. That is such a nice thing to do. Oh, for Christmas, for condo employees who have to work on Christmas Day, that is going to feel so good in your soul, I am sure. What a great thing to do. Gary will be in Palm Springs for Christmas, Chicago for New Year's Eve. That's fine. That sounds absolutely wonderful. I would say find Butterfingers, but I'm not. No, no, I need to stop Butterfingering. I would say find yarn, crochet yarn, but I have tons of that as well. Uh, Jenny is excited because Hubs comes into PV on Christmas Eve. Yay! Celebrating with our friends in the building by grilling burgers. That sounds divine. Thomas will be in Baltimore, New Year's Eve in Puerto Vallarta. Den is on my team. We will be here and going nowhere. I love it. I love it. Um, Gwen is ordering Chinese with the rest of the Jews. Save some for me. Christmas Eve and Day will be home in Aramara with a roast duck and tamales. Good for you, Dory. I love these. I love these plans. Very mellow. Everybody seems to be doing very mellow things. Wife and I will be enjoying a nice Christmas Eve home cooked meal here at our home in Bucerias. Good for you, Rod. I hope that things are mellow up there. Uh, in Minnesota, and we'll be with family from California and New York for Christmas, New Year's Eve. I love it. Tradition is to go to a movie on Christmas Eve. Usually like to lay low on Christmas Day. Our stores are usually very busy, so we can also go help if needed. There's a couple of films that are coming up. The Matrix fourth installment is coming up. I'm really excited about that myself. Um, New Year's Eve, big party on our roof to watch the fireworks from Melissa's. I'm not familiar with Melissa, but that sounds like fun. Yay! Let's see. My focus the last 2 days is to make batches of salsa verde to all 6 of my kids. Yum! I am the resident cook. Look at you guys. You guys are doing a lot of fun things for one another. Mother-in-law's Christmas Eve, then off to Guadalajara. Take me with you, Brad. We have a picnic in front of the tree Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we stay in our jammies, eat, drink, and play games. That sounds so yummy. Uh, Dave is also on my team, scraping all plans in favor of a safe, sane Christmas and New Year's. I hear you. I hear you. Um, Minnesota, Christmas with family from New York City and Los Angeles. New Year's Eve celebrating birthday of a dear friend. Um, Gary would be more than happy to bring me both on my next trip. No worries. I mean, Gary, no worries, Gary. I think I am all set right now. Glee Audrey says home alone. That makes 2 of us. Um, Matrix, definitely want to see that. Well, let's make something happen. And Gina comments that Encanto is back and open, and Effie Passero is singing on New Year's Eve. Another great singer. I hope she's singing with live musicians. But then again, that's just me. And this brings us to the end of our broadcast. Yet another broadcast together. I am so excited to have spent a few minutes with everyone. And of course, it is Saturday. We won't be broadcasting tomorrow. And I hear Luna meowing from the bedroom. So I think I'm going to be very, very mellow this weekend. I have nothing but good wishes for everyone, um, for a great, great weekend. And also, if you are wondering about last night's interview, I will be putting together show notes for it later on today with all kinds of links and information about Amy and Fernando. I will upload it to YouTube as well, so our friends in YouTube can enjoy it. And that's basically it. Stay kind, stay happy, stay safe, stay merry, as in Merry, not as in Mary. Uh, that was bad, Paco. Just get done with the broadcast. We're done. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again Monday. Hopefully, have a good one.